Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerd Ledger. I am Cage. That is Parasect. Just kidding, it's Chair.
Chair. It's chair. It's parasect and it's chair. It's chair and parasect at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, we're back. We've taken some time off because life is busy, and there hasn't been a whole bunch to talk about. There was Peacemaker. I'm pretty sure, 100% sure you didn't watch Peacemaker.
I
So
have not watched it, no. I haven't watched any TV or any shows or anything. I've just been gaming nonstop till like 3 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, which
Yeah.
it, all chill, all good. I'll probably talk
Mm,
about it separately at some point, just because some people might want to know what like checkmate and salvation might mean for the future of DC, but
hmm
could be completely irrelevant as well. So, but today we're pretty much going to talk about one thing and one thing only. And for this thing, I will use a prop.
Oh,
Mostly because it's Halloween tomorrow.
it is Halloween tomorrow. Oh shit.
So I have a prop because
Damn.
today we're gonna talk about Kylo Ren.
Oh, Snapple.
I don't know if you've heard the news.
I think I remember briefly some podcasters I was listening to talk about something that was going on with Ben Solo. He wanted to have his own standalone movie, right, or something like that. He was gonna have his own standalone movie, and then Disney canceled it.
Yeah, I mean something pretty much like that.
Yeah,
Hold on, I have to buckle in my hat. There we go.
don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Oh, I think I'm already hurting myself mentally. So
Yeah.
there we go. My hat is buckled. Anyway,
All right.
so yeah, pretty much there was a movie that was proposed to Disney for a Kylo Ren movie. Okay, I can't do this with a hat on anymore. It's getting pretty sweaty in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I made my point. Anyway, so Adam Driver and director Steven Soderbergh, pretty well known name in the movie world, I think. I don't know. But they had proposed the movie to Disney, and essentially were greenlit all the way through, had a script and everything, and then Disney killed it. So this is a first, quote unquote, for Star Wars under Disney. It's the furthest the project has gotten, and then been canceled. So yeah, it's making the rounds. Obviously, there are different schools of thought here. But here were some things that were said. So, Adam Driver confirmed that he was actually interested in reprising his role as Kylo Ren after The Rise of Skywalker. Despite being one of the main antagonists throughout the Star Wars sequel trilogy, the fan favorite character was able to redeem himself at the end of the 2019 movie. He was last seen sacrificing his remaining life force to save Daisy Ridley's Rey. During a recent interview with AP, Driver shared that he had acclaimed filmmaker Steven Soderbergh were initially trying to develop a solo Kylo Ren movie, which would take place after The Rise of Skywalker. He described the experience of working on the script with Scott Z. Burns as, quote, one of the coolest fucking scripts I had ever been a part of. I was always interested in doing another Star Wars. I had been talking about doing another one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy had reached out. I always said with a great director and a great story, I'd be there in a second. I loved that character and loved playing him. However, after pitching the project to Disney executives Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, the project was surprisingly turned down despite the character's popularity. The solo Kylo Ren movie would have been titled The Hunt for Ben Solo. He continued, we presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. They totally understood our angle and why we were doing it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, and they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive, and that was that. In addition, Soderbergh also addressed the canceled project, revealing that he really enjoyed making the movie in his head. He said, I'm just sorry the fans won't get to see it. So there's that bit, and now there's also Star Wars fans who are lobbying to get the movie made. Obviously, there are all sorts of things that fans like to do with, signing things and flying banners over stadiums and shit like that. So, I guess the questions are. How has Disney done recently with Star Wars? And do we want to continue to make movies out of what were possibly the worst Star Wars movies ever made? Um, there's a lot to question there, but the truth of the matter is, what we've learned with Star Wars at Disney is that if you have the right people working on it, you can make something really good.
Yeah.
Um, do you
That's how you get
think?
Rogue One. That's how you get, Han Solo, a Star Wars story. That's how you get all that stuff.
Yeah. Do you think that Ben Solo dying makes this movie prohibitive, or do you think that's kind of irrelevant?
I think it does impact the movie just a bit that he did die in the last movie. And if it would have come out but I don't know, it's Star Wars, like they could have said, oh, but the Force projected his soul somewhere else, and he's like a Force ghost guy, and you can find him or something,
Yeah,
I don't know.
there are probably a million ways, not that many, but there are a lot of ways to explain away how he'd still be alive. You could use the connection with Rey, right? Like they're quote unquote a dyad and all this stuff. Like explore that idea more. You could use the world between worlds, which is pretty much their retcon for everything. I mean, Ahsoka died surely after fighting Darth Vader in Rebels, right? But she came back.
Mm.
Plenty of characters have quote unquote died and returned. So I don't know. I mean, Palpatine died too, right? And he was back.
Yeah.
So I think
Sith
that,
cloning.
yeah, exactly. And he was working with them. I think the larger issues are, uh, I think the sequel trilogy didn't do itself any favors. And,
No, it did not.
Kylo Ren had many opportunities to be redeemed and chose not to be, right? Like The Force Awakens at the end, his dad is trying to, Han Solo is like, hey, yo, son, come back. And his son decides to kill his dad. Okay, there's that. Then he kills Snoke and teams up with Rey and could turn good. And instead, he turns bad and worse. And like he has every opportunity to continue like redeeming himself, and at every turn he chooses not to until the very end when he's about to die. So like I get it, he was eventually redeemed at the end in Rise of Skywalker, but
Yeah.
I just didn't think his character was well done throughout that trilogy. And of course, like we'd love to see him come back and maybe make that better, right? Like they could have done something, but there's a real challenge when his character was so wishy-washy throughout, because everything was wishy-washy throughout.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think anything touching those, I think you're right that anything touching those movies is probably going to be looked upon like negatively. Which again, this is why I think they're making this they were trying to make this High Republic era a thing, but now I guess they're just making everything like post the New Order, post this, post that, and this kind of rise of the New Republic sort of era, I guess, is where they're going to be basing everything, kind of like post everything.
Yeah, I mean it'll be.
Sorry, I just sneeze.
No, you're fine. I think Disney maybe deserves some credit for canceling the movie, right? Like it, but I don't know. There's so little faith, I think, in Disney from all angles that nobody really knows what's going on. It's like you get The Acolyte last year, which some people really liked and other people really hated, and really it was just a kind of show, right? It was just kind of there. You also had Skeleton Crew, which I really enjoyed. I'm pretty sure you liked it as well.
Yeah, I did
Um,
enjoy Skeleton Crew.
which is, both of those are more separate stories, right? They're not building on a character or a story we're directly connected with. They're both kind of, their own stories. Um, and that's what Rogue One was as well, but it does tie directly into A New Hope, right? And then Andor, it shows that these things do work with the right people behind them. So we've gotten like really great, amazing Star Wars, but we've also got the sequel trilogy and season 3 of The Mandalorian, which was meh.
Nah, yeah.
So, there's a balance to all of these things, and I feel like
Man, we were drinking from the hose for a long time, and now there's not a whole lot of Star Wars content these days, is there? Now I'm thinking about it. I know there's new Star Wars Visions dropping soon. I'm probably gonna
it
check
just
that
dropped.
out.
Yeah, it dropped
Oh yeah.
yesterday.
So I need to
So
go. I'll probably watch those with Rio or something. Um,
yeah,
are you gonna watch them? I know you're not the biggest
I'll
anime
watch
guy.
them. I watched the first season, I think, and then I watched
Hmm.
almost all of the second season except for like the last 2 episodes. So I'll probably watch it. It's just it's just there to be watched. Um, I tried to watch like the Lego Star Wars one. That was like they did a whole rebuild the galaxy thing, and it has like Darth Jar Jar in it and a bunch of like Elseworlds kind of things, and like there's like all the evil people are good, so you have like good Chancellor Palpatine and good Darth Vader who's like all white, and all these things, and then it's really odd. But I tried to watch that, and I kind of got bored, so I stopped watching it. But yeah, it kind of happens with Visions too. Like I like
Yeah.
it, but I don't feel super connected to it. So
Yeah, for sure. I just like looking at cool shit, so that's why I watch it.
yeah, but some of the episodes are kind of slower, right? Like I like the a lot of the animation styles and a lot of like the action sequences, right? Like I think that some of that stuff is some of the coolest parts of anime. And I'm not an anime person. Like I don't watch a lot of anime, but like
Hmm.
what I enjoy from anime is usually like the fight sequences and then like the stories of those fight sequences, right? And how like a lot
Hmm.
of times the hero's like beaten down and has to overcome, and it's always like really cool and like intense, and you're just like, oh, this is like sick. So yeah, and like
Yeah, it looks sick. That's mainly like that's 80% of the reason why I watch anime, is
yeah,
because it looks really cool. It's really cool to look at, and it's cool to experience some other culture that isn't yours and see how they create and craft their stories and everything like that, and see how like their characters are less grounded in reality than like more Western characters are.
yeah.
Um, it's just fun to experience all that, and it shoots me to a lot of new things. Like I started eating ramen because I watched a bunch of Naruto, and you know, it's good to
Yeah,
experience. Good way to experience culture.
I feel like I miss so much of anime because like when I was a kid, like I liked Sailor Moon, which is technically anime, right?
It is anime, yeah.
Okay, so I
One
like
of one of the anime, one of the animes, one of the most popular animes of all time.
I liked Sailor Moon, and then like I'm pretty sure it was on Cartoon Network, and then there was like part of Toonami and stuff. But
Yeah,
then
yep.
I also like I would try to watch Dragon Ball Z because I love dragons. I thought dragons were fucking sick, and I never saw a dragon, and I thought the show was
Yeah,
boring.
yeah. There never any dragons. Dragon Ball Z.
I mean,
It's
there's one
yeah, it's just
dragon. What is it, Shenron or Shenyu or
Shenron. Yeah,
something?
No, Shenron.
Okay,
Shenron. Yeah.
yeah, but I didn't stick around long enough to see Shenron because I was bored. I wanted to see a dragon, and so I think like that's why I kind of stopped watching a lot of other animes. Like I never watched Naruto. I never watched like my sister really liked Inuyasha and like Zatch Bell and things like that. Is that what it was? Zatch Bell or some
Zatch
shit?
Bell. Yeah, Zatch Bell. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
about little dolls that come to life.
yeah. But I liked Yu-Gi-Oh, which I don't know if that's an anime, but
Yu-Gi-Oh is an anime.
okay. Well, I liked Yu-Gi-Oh. I liked Digimon. Digimon was sick. I liked
Yeah, Digimon was
Pokemon.
pretty. Digimon was cool. Pokemon was cool.
Um, I liked what else? Does Avatar: The Last Airbender count as an anime or not? Because it's made by white people.
No, it doesn't count as an animation. So yeah, I'd say it's an anime. It falls in the same genre.
Okay. Yeah, but anime's evolved into a lot of weird things, and I don't mean weird in a judgy way. I just mean like I wouldn't read those things because there's a lot of like anime books, and like
Yeah,
obviously
manga. Yeah,
they breach out into like
or light novels. Yeah,
weirder things. You know what I
yeah, for
mean?
sure.
Like I recently learned about yaoi. Um,
Yep. Yaoi and Yuri. Yep.
and
Classics.
you know,
Oh, my
I'm
sweet summer
pretty
child, you're
sure
just now learning.
it's just porn.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot of pornography in the anime space for sure.
it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. But yeah, I never delved that deeply into anime or manga. So yeah.
I never read manga because I just don't like reading, comics. Like I'd rather read a book. Japan has this thing called they're called light novels, which are basically novels, but like letting, they're translated from They're very short, like very direct.
Mm,
But they come out and like they're like pulp fiction. It's like pulp fantasy and science fiction and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, so that's what I read.
That's cool. I yeah, I think I'm gonna give. I might rewatch all of Visions to be honest, and see and like sometimes you rewatch things and you pick things up that weren't there before. Like there's certain episodes I liked, they just didn't stick with me enough. Like there's one about like some little astro boy, like a robot kid or whatever, and in
Yeah.
like the ice world. I remember that kind of. I could be misremembering it, but yeah. And I've seen a
It's
lot
been
of
forever
like
since I watched them, so I couldn't tell you if you were wrong or
yeah.
not.
I think like the very first episode was pretty good of Visions. Like it was like all like black and white, except for like the lightsabers and like it
Yeah,
was
I
more like
remember the episode you're talking about.
yeah, like feudal Japan samurai type shit, which was cool. So and I think they're gonna do a little bit more of that in this season that just came out. So yeah, I'll check it out for sure. I mean, Visions is a big thing. Oh, the other Star Wars news recently, which isn't really news, but um, Disney pretty much confirmed that uh, Kimmer, whoever, whatever, the Sith guy from the Acolyte, um, started the Knights of Ren or something like that. So
Mm.
wow, I'm shocked. And also, nobody cares about the Knights of Ren because they were in the movies for like 30 seconds and they were pussy ass little bitches, okay? They just got
Yeah, they
killed.
weren't in the
That's
movie.
all that
They
happened.
weren't in the. They weren't in the movie for very long at all.
Yeah. So, but yeah, content recently has been pretty dry. Um, the how much of like Alien and Predator movies have you seen?
I've seen all the Alien movies.
All right.
Quite enjoyed that. Quite enjoyed that franchise. Rewatched Alien recently. With my good friend Rio. We watched the Alien movie together. That was a really good time. It's just really classic science fiction movie.
Mm-hmm.
Adjusting the camera to wink.
Well, yeah,
Give
it's
it a
kind
little
of
wink.
blurry, so that's a good way to fix
Um,
it most of the time.
fix it. Yeah. Um, watched all the newer ones with another good friend of mine, Rio,
Mm-hmm.
and we just really enjoyed really enjoy the you know different take on horror.
Mm. Did you watch Alien Earth?
No, I haven't because I don't have
Hulu.
whatever it's on. Yeah,
I think it's Hulu. Yeah, I didn't watch. I've never watched anything Alien. I've seen I think
you should.
the first Predator movie and like
Hmm.
one of the more recent ones that was really not that good. But the new one that's coming out next week looks really good.
Yeah, I've seen it because it looks very sci-fi
Yeah,
compared to some of the other Predator shit. So
it looks really
sure
cool.
you'd yeah.
So who knows? Maybe I need to watch some Predator movies to prepare myself and go watch that movie.
Yep.
Because I feel like I'm so far behind on the movie front. Like I haven't seen so many movies that just everybody's seen apparently. So
Yeah, it could be like that all the time. I remember that's for one time I spent like my parents left me the house for like 2 weeks, and I said, okay, all I'm gonna do is sit inside all day and watch like movies and I did that for like a week and a half straight, where I just sat down and watched movies. You know,
yeah, Like
Maybe.
I was looking like I saw like on something like Screen Rant's like 15 best movies ever, and I've seen
Mm-hmm.
two of them.
Oh, yeah,
Like I've never seen The Godfather. Have you seen that?
I have.
Okay. I've never seen 12 Angry Men. Don't even know what that is, to be honest.
You
Um,
should watch it. It's free on YouTube. You really should watch that movie. I think you'd like it a lot.
I've never seen Casablanca.
It's it's not required viewing. It's fun though. It's a fun movie. That's the thing. Like it's so fun. For such an old movie to make a movie that's like so good and entertaining to like experience is like a very impressive feat.
All right.
Because there were a lot of bad movies that used to come out back in the day, like a lot.
I've never seen The Shawshank Redemption.
That's not required. I wouldn't call that required viewing. I've seen it, but
Is
it's a
that the
good
one where they're
movie.
in prison?
Yeah,
Because
it's like yeah,
I mean I've seen parodies of it in like Family Guy and stuff.
yeah.
So, um,
It's one where they're in prison.
I've never seen Seven Samurai.
Yeah, it's a really good movie about seven samurai doing badass stuff. Like, it's good.
Even from 1954.
Yeah,
Okay. I've never seen Vertigo.
I've never seen Vertigo either.
Okay. I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane's great.
Okay.
It's again one of those things where it's like, wow, like especially that movie in particular. Because the thing about Citizen Kane is that everyone involved was like a stage actor, and usually like they suck at it and they
Hmm.
make really bad movies. But the thing about Citizen Kane was that it was just so outrageously good for the time. They also apparently invented a lot of like camera shots that are still used today. Like they just straight up invented them. Like cameras now, so we're gonna reinvent the wheel here, and that's what they did. And
All
that's
right.
why like Citizen Kane's like considered like so good by a lot of people.
Okay. And also, I lied. I've seen 3 movies on this list. Through 7, I've seen 0 of those, though. I've seen number 8 on the list, which is Schindler's List, which should not be considered one of the best movies of all time because it's fucking depressing as shit.
Yeah.
I've seen number 9. Everybody should see it. It's called The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Yeah.
I mean,
Return of the King, huh? Not the Fellowship. I thought
see,
Fellowship would be even
you
higher than that.
see, I don't disagree, but they picked Return of the King. Um, So, I haven't seen number 10, which I'm pretty sure is really bad for me. But I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
That's all right.
And while we're on the topic, I've never seen any Quentin Tarantino movies.
I really like Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained, but they're not like they're just really bloody, violent movies. Like it's not like they're anything crazy.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was good, but that's just because it's like wow, it's like this is what Hollywood was like back in the day, how cool it is.
Mm. My dad was a big, well, is, I don't know if he still is, but I knew he liked Quentin Tarantino when I was a kid, and
Mhm.
I don't know. We just never, By the time my parents were divorced, I was 10, and you know, before that, I probably wasn't old enough to watch any of those movies. So, um, Psycho. What is Psycho? Tell me.
It's the original slasher. It's like one of the original horror films.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
like one of the first films that was made to like that became widely. That's the thing about these movies. The reason they're on this list is because these movies became widely popular. Like they went to theaters and they made really good box offices and are still popular today.
yeah.
And so for the time, most horror really sucked. Except for like Psycho. That's why Psycho's like a classic. Psycho was really really good.
It just because it's a classic, does that mean it's one of the best movies ever?
Not one of the best movies ever, but I think for its time, I think it's an impressive feat.
Okay.
Considering the other trash that was commonplace at the time that people were consuming.
Is it a movie that if you're recommending like a whole list of movies for someone to watch that they've never seen, would it be on your list?
Yes.
Okay. Number 12 on their list is It's a Wonderful Life.
I I don't see what it's really good. It's a really cute Christmas movie. I don't know. I wouldn't call it required viewing though. I've watched it on like ABC and stuff like that.
Hmm. Okay. What about Rear Window? Have you ever heard of Rear Window?
No, I never heard of Rear Window.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll be right back.
okay. Well, I'll wait for you to get back because, I got to ask you more about this list. Number 14 I've seen, okay? I don't know why it's on the list. That's a real head scratcher, and I need Chair here to tell me why he thinks it's on the list. Um I don't know. Maybe it marks the start of something significant for this company, but it's hard to say. Obviously, I don't have the reasons why Screen Rant put this because I didn't bring up the article. I just took the picture, guys. I just took the picture because I was like, hey, I should use this as a reference for movies I should watch that I've never seen before. But now I'm using it for content. So when Chair gets back, we'll ask him. We'll ask him about number 14 on the list. Anyway, viewers, listeners, think about how your life is going. Think about your job. Think about your interpersonal relationships. Think about your hobbies and reflect. Do those things bring you joy? And sometimes things like work don't need to bring you joy. Sometimes they just need to bring you money so then you can spend it on things that do bring you joy, like hobbies, like vacations.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. Now I can stop wasting time talking about some bullshit. Okay?
Okay.
Number 14 on the list. Tell me why this is on the list of the 15 best movies ever. Beauty and the Beast.
Whoever wrote that list was incredibly biased. That's why it's on that list.
I was wondering if it's because maybe they think it started this like 90s run of great animated Disney films. But I don't know why it's on the list, okay? Maybe it's the bias. Maybe it's because of all the Broadway shows that have spun off of it and whatever. Who knows? But I don't think it belongs on the list. Okay, the last movie on their list is another movie I've never heard of, North by Northwest.
That's another thriller. I haven't watched it, but I understand like the concept of the movie.
Okay. So, if I was going to start watching movies on this list, you'd pretty much recommend everything aside from It's a Wonderful Life, North by Northwest, and Rear Window, because you don't know what the fuck that is either.
I recommend North by Northwest. That is a movie I do want to watch.
Oh, okay.
I'd recommend It's a Wonderful Life if you've never seen it at least once. But you have to watch it during Christmas. That's the most important part.
Lucky for me, that's coming up.
Yep.
Okay. But usually I'll just, I'll start watching this movie, any of these movies, and then I'll just go, why am I not watching Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Lord of the Rings and Star Wars are not the greatest movies ever made. But I still like them.
They are the most popular.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They are very popular. I feel like with Lord of the Rings, I loved the movies a lot more before I ever read the books. Now, when I watch the movies, I always have the book in my mind, and I'm always a little bit like, meh, you know? You know what I'm saying?
No, I enjoy both equally.
I still love them, of course, but okay. I think I've exerted all the energy I have on topics that I found. There's not a whole lot to talk about, to be honest. Is there anything in the nerd industry that you want to talk about?
Is there anything going on in the nerd industry? Oh, did you hear about the so you like follow popular streamers or anything like that? Do you like
Oh, are you going to talk to me about Collargate?
No, about what happened. No, about what's going on with the CS skins.
The market crashed.
Yeah. I know you're an economically minded guy. I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you'd like appreciate like the finer details of like speculative investing and all that stuff that's going on here.
I mean, it's the same as everything else, right? Like it's the same as like NFTs. People bought them, expecting that someone else would pay a gross amount of money for them just to have them. That's what skins are. Skins are digital assets that you expect because people have shown that they're willing to pay exorbitant amount of money for it, that they can just sell it eventually in the future, right? And then they realize that nobody's actually going to spend $20,000 for a gun skin on a game that not many people play anymore. And the market crashes. That's what I imagine what happened, but I don't actually know what happened.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so what happened is it's actually still quite a popular game.
Yeah. Well, I know it's still
On
popular,
Twitch.
but you know.
You know, the what happened was is that you can do these things called trade ups, is where you can trade
Yes.
you can trade 10 of something
Mm-hmm.
into one thing,
Yes. And depending
and
on the rareness of those items, it dictates the rareness of the item you
yeah.
trade up to.
It used to be you couldn't trade these things called reds into a legendary, into like what's like a mythical
Yeah.
legendary. I don't know what the color was, but now you
Yeah, so
can.
it's like
And
blue is common, purple is uncommon, red or there's a couple different purples, right? No, there's only two. There's only one. Red is like rare, but then gold is like mythic rare, like crazy rare, right? I think I got that right.
yeah,
So what you're saying is you couldn't take the reds, which are very, very rare items already, and trade up to like legendary items.
yeah, but now you can because of a new patch.
Oh, okay. So now that like
Yeah,
because
yeah,
when you
that's why the market's crashing.
when you open CS
It's not because
cases,
of, yeah,
for maybe people who don't know, right? Like, and I've never played CS, but I've watched streams, so I know. Right?
streamers. Yeah,
You open CS cases, you have to spend like thousands of dollars and open hundreds and hundreds of cases to get one legendary gold right
yeah, because of
item.
the odds. Yeah,
Yeah, and so now essentially you could just trade up to it, right? Which
yeah.
even then, you're still putting a lot of money into there to get all the reds to be. But can you trade up purples to get them, or you have to trade up like one thing at a time, like one level at a time?
Mhm.
I don't know. That was a question.
Yeah. So wait, sorry, what was the question?
Can you trade purples up to it, or do you have to like?
Yeah, you can trade purples up to reds.
Okay.
You can trade reds, and then you trade reds into a legendary, and that's what caused the market crash because like a bunch of people started pulling like the knives that they wanted instead of saying like man, the knife that I want is that it's really cool looking. It's like $700 fucking. I can't afford it. Now
Hmm.
I can trade up all these skins and like try and get the knife that I want. Um,
Yeah. Are stickers still worth anything?
yes, they are.
Okay. But and what about the fire serpent thingy? I know about the
I don't
fire
know.
serpent thingy.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm still kind of a newer CS player
Okay.
myself. I don't know about a fire
What do you
serpent
mean
or
you're a
anything
newer
like that.
player? Hasn't CS been out for like 25 years?
Yeah, and I just started playing recently, so that's why I'm
Are,
like interested in this topic.
are you playing CS2 or are you playing
Yep, playing Counter Strike
CSGO?
2. Yep,
Okay.
nope, Counter Strike 2.
Okay. See, I don't play games, but I watch people play games, so I know things about games. But
Yep, yeah. You watch like XQC and stuff, right, or whatever.
not as much anymore. But that's where most of my game knowledge comes from. Um,
Mm.
is just watching people who do play games. I mean, even like growing up as a kid, I would go to my friend's house and they'd play games, and I'd watch them play games. You know, and like obviously they'd always be like, "Oh, do you want to play?" But I'd always prefer to watch because I was scared I would just die and be terrible at the game. So, um,
Yeah, that's why you got to practice at the game so you can be good. It's like an instrument, it's got to practice.
yeah, I don't really practice instruments either. I just like to play them. I
Oh,
mean, I practiced until I got good enough to play, and now I don't practice as much anymore, which I need to. But you know,
yeah.
that's how it goes. All right. Well, um, anything else? Any other exciting things?
Sorry, I just ate something. Hold on.
Okay. Eating is exciting. I haven't been eating anything exciting lately though, so you know, I just eat normal foods. Some meats, some pastas, some taters, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't gone to McDonald's in over 3 years now, so that's something. Still go to Taco Bell because Taco Bell's fucking delicious. But only like once a month every now and then. So we've had plenty of fast food discussions before,
I'm back. Yeah.
and I think we
No,
both agree. Well, actually, you probably disagree. In-N-Out is overrated as fuck. So
No, I love In-N-Out. I think In-N-Out's delicious. I think you're wrong. In every way, shape, or form. I think those burgers are way better than any other fast food burger you get anywhere else, and the fries are to die for.
you could go to a store and buy ground beef and fry it up, and it tastes the exact same
No, 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 not even
with
close.
some salt and
Cheese.
some peppers. and throw some cheese on there on the stovetop, and it's the same exact thing.
Not even close.
All right.
Not even close, buddy.
All right.
It's okay. Some people are allowed to. You're allowed to be wrong. It's right. It's whatever.
I'm often wrong, but I'm often right too. And sometimes I'm right about In-N-Out being overrated. And their French fries are dog shit.
No, the French fries are hella good. You can watch them being cut right there in front of you. Like that's just can't get that anywhere else.
They're not good normally. Once you leave the store, they're bad. And if you get them well done, once you get home, they're cardboard. So not good.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Maybe it's because I have an underdeveloped palate, Could be. I'm just not very cultured when it comes to fine foods,
All good. What else? No, I thought the CS skin conversation would go longer because it's about how, like, I don't know. Because at one point you're right, like, people are buying them like hoping they'll be like worth a lot of money, but also at the same time there is like the demand is there. There's real demand for these skins,
Yeah.
and what people are willing to pay for them. Sometimes, like I'm sure you've seen XQC or whatever the fuck his name is, like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna buy like a fucking $10,000 skin and slap like $500 stickers onto it and put like 3 of them on there or something like that,
Yeah.
because he just wants to flex, So that does happen, and
Yeah, but people like that don't give a shit, right? Like if the market crashed, who fucking cares, right? Like you do it because you like the skins and you have money, not because you actually care about actually investing in them, right? Like anybody who buys skins to invest, right? Which I'm not saying is inherently wrong, but like you have to know that these are unstable markets to begin with, right? Like you maximize until you can't anymore, right? Like that's like when I used to be like heavily into Magic the Gathering, I would do that. I would flip cards. Like it's pretty easy to do, and make money off of, like, that's how I made money up. I mean, I worked at a comic book store when I was 16, but other than that, like the way I made money before I was 18 is flipping Magic cards. Like I made probably $2,000-$3,000 in 5 months just selling Magic cards, right? Because that's what you're doing. Like you're doing similar things like trade ups a little bit, but not always. You're also buying packs every now and then, but with packs, right, it's very inconsistent. You're going to get scammed a little bit most of the time. Like you don't buy boxes of cards to make money because you're always pretty much going to lose, other than like if you buy them early on and then something happens, right? But pretty much what you do is you read the market and you read the meta and you buy up cheap cards that are nobody knows are going to be good yet, and then they become good a month later and you sell them all for way higher than what you bought them for. Like, and I'm sure that's how skins similarly work. People invest, like buy them cheap, wait, and hopefully they go up, right? It's like everything else. But also everybody likes gambling a little bit, like microtransactions. People love buying cases. People love opening shit and seeing what they get and trying for that very rare thing. But in the end, it's just a gambling scam. That's what it is.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I don't know. And with CS, it's like much more difficult to read. I'm sure like the rarity is what determines the value, right? Whereas like when you're collecting cards, it's how many people use it and how good it is, in addition to the rarity, right? Like that's what dictates card prices more than anything, right? So, like when the Lord of the Rings set came out, like a bunch of those cards were worth a lot of money because they were still kind of rare. And they were starting, like people wanted to play them in the extended formats, so they would get some play and they'd go up in price. And then as time went on, more people opened stuff. The market gets more flooded, they go down, but then anything that's actually starting to see play starts to go up again, right? So like even cards that before the set came out were worth $1, $2, once they start seeing play in like other formats, they're now $15 cards, right? So if you kind of anticipate some of those things, and you get them wrong every now and then, but if you get them more right than wrong, you're always gonna come up, because it's not like going from $1 to $1.50 and you bought 10 of them and you made $5. They're going like $1 to $15 and you bought 10 of them and you're making $140.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're not going to talk about Prop 50 because that is a nightmare. And if you're in California, make up your own mind. Don't listen to what people have to say. Read what things mean. Anyway, what else?
Yeah, politics really sucks right now, man.
Oh, it's
Like,
fucking dog shit. Yeah,
it's so weird, like how the Charlie Kirk assassination at the time seemed like the end of the world, like the political world in the U.S. as we knew it, but now it seems like just another blip on the radar, man. It's
that's life
so,
in the fast lane. You know.
yeah, we're in the fast lane right now. There's no doubt about that one.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's not even been a year in this in this presidency yet. It's crazy. So, yeah. All I would advise anybody with anything political, don't don't believe things you read on social media. Don't give a shit what your friends think. Don't get sucked into this climate of just like, if you disagree with me, you're an evil, awful person. Like, just, if you're interested in all, do your own research. Read things you disagree with. Read things you agree with. Find the truth in the middle. If you don't care, just, that's fine too. Like, people will say you're part of the problem and blah blah. Just, again, ignore all those people and just live your life, because that's what so many people want to do, is just live your lives. Um, Hard times are here. Hard times will continue. People who are already struggling are going to be struggling more. Industries that need to provide for those people are going to be struggling more. It's just the reality. We've seen it with tariffs. I've even heard people say tariffs haven't affected anything. They always affect the consumer at the end of the day, and the retailer in some ways, and the manufacturer in some ways, right? Like, a lot of people try to eat, like, a lot of manufacturers try to eat tariffs so that consumers still buy the product, because they know if they pass it on, sometimes they'll be priced out of the market. It's the reality of things. And again, the core consumer who's paying more is going to be hurt at the end of the day, because now their benefits are going to not be dispersed at the end of the month. And that hurts the consumer. It hurts the retailer who relies on that money as well, which, when they make less money, then they have to cut jobs and do other things to stay in business. This is how economics works. When something is hard for one person, it goes through the whole chain. It hurts everybody. So, talk to your friends and loved ones, and get through it together, and reach out to local food banks. And there's plenty of resources out there for people if you look for them. A lot of people have been donating. There's like community libraries that are out there that are stocked with like canned goods and stuff right now in the Sacramento area. So there's help out there. And don't ever, please, like, okay, this is my bias coming out when I say this, but you shouldn't look ever to your government to help you and bail you out and save you. We as a society should do that for each other. You look to your neighbors, look to your friends, look to your family. Don't rely on the government. Anyway. Anything from you?
Anyway, no, I just watched, like, I don't really think I have a political, like, sphere that I operate in anymore. It's
Yeah.
very, like, unmotivating, like, depressing being, like, in America. Because, again, like, I'm just, like, a political spectator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I enjoy watching these things, but I don't actually enjoy having, like, solid opinions on anything, because, you can always be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. You could always be wrong. It just becomes too vitriolic. Like, it's never about opinion anymore. It's about, you're either with us or you're against us. You're the problem. Even if you don't agree with what's happening, you're allowing it. Like, there's no room for discussion in a lot of these spheres, as you say. But where we are, like where we sit, we can have a conversation. We could talk about anything. We could share our thoughts, even if they're not full opinions, and it could be a safe way to discuss and learn and gain some perspective. But online is not the place for that. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's why we watch nerd stuff. So Star Wars Visions, maybe we'll talk about that next week or in the future at some point. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else for today.
Nope. Sorry, I haven't watched Peacemaker 2, but again, I need to keep my title as the world's worst co-host, so,
Yeah, all good. No worries at all. We'll We'll be back. We'll talk about more things. Rate, comment, review, subscribe, do all those things. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.